Ladies and gentlemen, let's go through a case study together. I wanted to bring this certain case study up because this is actually one of my first clients when I started earlier in the year. And the reason why I wanted to do it is because it is currently New Year's, and this was about the time I started with this client. I mean, obviously a month's difference, but I wanted to do it just as of memorabilia to get to show you what a basic chatting agency should look like, because I had my foundation set when I launched my chatting agency around that time. Before, obviously, for some of you that may know, I used to manage models as well, until I fully dropped all my models to see the gap in the market of such low quality chatting, to where I stepped in. And this is one of my first clients of me actually having good tangible results to show in comparison of what we do now, is what I'm trying to say. With the amount of subs that we were getting on this account, we could have doubled the revenue with the certain methods, scripts, procedures, and processes that we have, and good team members and staff in a place that just do really good work and that really work well. But why not show an account that gives you a realistic idea of what a normal chatting agency should do that had nothing really going for them, and comparative to a previous chatting agency results, what we're going to dive into. So before I dive into the account and how we changed everything, let me explain to you the description of it. A USA-based model alongside a Reddit marketer. He was doing Reddit paid subscribers at the time. And as you can see, around February to March 9th, but they were launching the account to where it was getting 300 paid subs. So keep in mind, 300 paid subs with the amount of money we were doing now we could convert very well with. But they managed the past chatting agency about $7,000 net. And keep in mind, it's $6,000 because we're subtracting the sub price. So this was before we worked. When this happened, we came on an audit call. So all I do, I provide for free. I just get on a call with you. I look at your account, see how I can help you. So if I can't help you in any way, shape, or form, I just tell you, hey, I think you're better off doing what you are doing now. Here's some tips of what we do. Hopefully this works well. But this account had very big gaps that needed to be filled. With that being said, I don't want to show the results that we did in the first month of working with them, but I wanted to give you an idea of what our plans and targets looked like. Our plans were, and mostly are, from when we come on and dissect an account. Probably the biggest thing that I see every single day is that the accounts are managing to get so many subs, but nobody is converting, obviously. But the reason for it, so the reasons for that I saw, and it's just a very commonality amongst a lot of OF accounts, especially big ones that can't manage quality through the quantity of the subscribers that they have, just because their team isn't big enough. They're not able to find good connections that have good chatting agencies, which I've never found before, and I'm the only one that is kind of around, and et cetera. So our plan was to transform the account to have GFE style. So what that means is girlfriend experience. It's very thrown around in this industry. We do girlfriend experience different than your other chatting agency does girlfriend experience. They probably never had a girlfriend, the guy who owns the other chatting agency, and he's probably in some God knows country trying to emulate what English looks like to, a USA style account. So with that being said, we put into real measures, real frameworks, and real targets and real plans. And that plan was, we're going to be very Cali girl style and Florida girl style. So if the model, she kind of travels a bit, we wanted to stick to a certain native tongue that a lot of good spenders come from. And that's typically coast side. So I understand that a lot of emulation through, let's just say, like chatting agencies can emulate a USA style, but that's very broad. I was born and raised in California. I'm best at teaching California style chatting, and that is how you see me talking. How I'm talking, I am technically a Californian, right? I'm not a Texan, because Texan people talk differently than Californian people. And anyways, a lot of the Florida people and Cali people kind of talk very similar, so that's why I mentioned that. Coast-side people. Down to the point, we saw how many subs we're getting. We told them how much we can benefit from having us on the accounts and how much we can monetize those subs for. We gave clear targets and said, hey, we're going to make sure to fulfill this. After we've gone through everything, I talked with my team. We implemented the system into place. And what that is just being a very natural person. You're not going to go out and send devil emojis. You're not going to go out and send squirting emojis. How does an 18-year-old girl talk? An 18-year-old girl isn't probably sending a long paragraph explaining all the parts of her body that are moving to a guy that she met probably 30 minutes ago. So we have to understand what we're looking at. And it's not very realistic. And the chatting agencies that are on there, it's very, very identifiable who's a chatter and who's not, and who is teaching these people. So, guys, I know the results aren't that great, but this was the first month. With the first month on March 10th is what we started. To April 10th, we managed to do 25,000 gross. Keep in mind, take off 24, basically 23. So 800 paid subs, not exactly where we wanted to be, but we started to see very, very good traction. And keep in mind, I'm very harsh on myself, so I won't say we did great, but for them, we more than tripled the revenue. So it was a very happy moment for them. By the way, quadrupled. So yeah, keep in mind, more than quadrupled the revenue. So everybody was happy, but I wasn't satisfied. As you can see, they got an 81% increase in the chatting, and then you got in the subscribers, and then 200% increase in the chatting. Of course. So one of the biggest implementations that we do is we triple, not double, we triple the prices of the pay-per-views. Please keep this in mind. And we have higher buy rates than everybody else. Isn't that an interesting concept? The reason why we're able to do this is because we provide high-quality chatting. I know it's never been talked about, but with high-quality chatting and a genuine connection, the guys are more likely to pay higher prices. And if I were to tell you this one concept, and this concept is, you're going to get a higher buy rate if you increase your prices, you're probably going to think I'm crazy. I might be, but there is truth in what I'm saying. So we increase the prices. We got the same amount of subs, basically. We got 1,000 subs. Sorry, I didn't include a second photo, but we got 1,000 paid subs. And with 1,000 paid subs, we got a 70% increase. And then our good second month was 40K net. And then you would take out about 2,000, 1,500. So about $38,000, let's just call it, in messages, in tips. We started noticing a lot of whales. Many, many whales. So I've started to implement something called a QA, rapport builder for another word. These people's sole dedication is to solely talk to whales, talk to time wasters, and talk to people who aren't currently spending to convert them to spend. A lot of your chatting agencies, they're just coming in and they're throwing a pay-per-view. It's not going to work. Would you buy from somebody you just met on the street? You probably wouldn't. Even if they gave you the best sales pitch in the world, you probably still wouldn't hand them $50, would you? But you would probably hand your friend $50. So these people were essentially creating relationships, rapport building, and making friends. One of the best car salesmen in the world, his name is Joe Girard. The reason why he sold more cars than anybody in the United States of America was that he approached as every person he sold to was a friend. He would try to make them a friend first, and then he sold. It's such an easy concept, everyone's going to wonder why I'm even talking about it. But nobody does it. Think about it yourself. Assess your current agency. When somebody subscribes, what's the first message? How do you guys talk for 30 minutes? How do you guys convert? How do you transition to converting them into monetizing them? It's probably not efficient. And if so, when you think it's efficient to jump straight into sales, that's not what the efficiency I'm talking about. I'm talking about maximizing dollars. And it's not efficient in the way of maximizing dollars. Very inefficient because you guys are fighting quantity with quantity. So you're trying to throw mass message pay-per-views to fight the quantity of subs with the quantity of being able to mass message. That's not how you do things. You try to fight quantity with quality as much as you can. Until you don't have enough quality to fight quantity, you raise your quality standards to fight with the quantity standards. And that's just having a good team, and that's why certain people opt in for a chatting agency, to be able to scale with them. And I know I'm kind of talking about a lot of things. Anyways, let's continue. We did very good money. We hired rapport builders, quality assurance staff to just consolidate everybody and keep no downtime on the account. Then, after some time, I stepped into some thinking. And I said, how can we make more money without being sexual? We implemented a lot of non-sexual revenue. And yeah, sometimes it does get missed, but sometimes it does reward itself like crazy. We actually had one chatter, and I can remember him, I'll call him by his first name, Vin. Shout out to you. He managed to solely focus on non-sexual revenue, he was doing an extra $400 a day just from non-sexual revenue on his shift, an 8-hour shift. So on top of the sexual revenue, which typically accounts for 80%, 90% of the money, he was adding an extra $400. And for the reason of selling bags, Hermes Coach bags, anything you can think of, we had a whole week's worth play out. The first day, it's a whole concept. We'd mention it. We wouldn't talk about it. We would never get the guy to try to buy it. But somehow, with the charisma that we had, people converted. Other things, right, that we've started to implement very, very soon, around this time, are things I don't want to dive into. I don't know why I just try to give you an introduction towards it. But if you're interested, you can work with me. That's all I can tell you. Anyways, non-sexual revenue came in. We scaled, growth, and what ended up happening? Reddit accounts, done, blocked. And the raw reality was that we got 300 subs. From 300 subs, we got $21,000. 60% drop in revenue, 40% drop on the chatting side. But if you were to compare it with our tight processes and monetizing more dollars in average earnings per fan, with 800 subs, we did the same amount of revenue until what we did 2 months later. We looked at how much is everybody spending, the AFV, average fan value, LTV, anything you want to call it. We doubled it. So yes, this account was dropping, but our numbers were still increasing and we were progressing by the day. Now keep in mind, nowadays, with 400 paid subs, we do good numbers compared to this with the new methods and processes and everything that I can talk about, blah, blah, blah. Around this time is what happened. And I'm just trying to be as transparent as possible with you guys, by the way. I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm some amazing magician. But yeah, we do improve by the day. So keep that in mind. That's what a business is. And this has ended up happening. From there on, we were very maintained. So that's what I can tell you. I wanted to give you a big, big whiteboard to make it look like I really cared about these videos. It's a very standard framework of how we progressed on to making more money. So other than that, I'm going to show you guys legitimate proof of what it looks like so you can see that I'm not all bullshitting. Okay, so this is the proof behind the pudding. This is what it looked like. March, we started halfway through March. As you can see on March 10th is where you saw, well, it doesn't show you March 10th, but it's when we started to blow up. As you can see, proof of results. Next month, it was only up from there. So as you can see, we maintain the account for months on end. And as of, when it comes to marketing, we don't really have too much control over it. We only have control over how we monetize our people. So that's what it started to look like. I have nothing else to say. This is a case study of which I really hope you've watched. And if you're still here, thank you for watching. It was very, very freestyled. So excuse my non-scripture. And I hope it's a bit of a refresher that I just provide value and I don't have a script and I talk all over the place. So it seems to be working. People seem to be enjoying the content. I'm going to keep doing what I keep doing. And if you ever need a chatting agency that can make better results than any others, you know what to call. Other than that, I wish you guys a blessed New Year's, your goals and your passion, and make it happen. Have a good one.